Unpopular opinion, if your home's been on the market for 30 plus days, it's not waiting for the right buyer, it's overpriced.
I'll say this once and I'll say it again. If your house has been on the market for more than 2 weekends, it is overpriced.
Homeowners everywhere are getting blindsided. Listings aren't moving, showings are empty, and price cuts aren't helping. What used to be a sure sale is now a major struggle. And if you're not careful, you can end up with a home that nobody wants. So is now a bad time to buy a home? Let's find out.
People can't sell their homes right now. They're having the worst luck selling their homes right now. This is not the market to buy. It is the market to rent. I know it sounds crazy, but right now it is more flexible, more feasible, and it's just smarter to rent right now. The average length of time that a house is sitting on the market right now is about 3 months. 3 months. Some houses have been sitting longer than that because the market is vastly different than it was a year ago. Just a year ago. Like, people are losing their trying to sell their homes right now. And some people are selling just to go back to renting. So right now it's not smart to buy. If you planned on buying right now, you might want to rethink that, because buying right now is just not it. If you're selling, it is just not it. Like, a lot of people are starting to rent out their homes because it's just more cost efficient to make that money back and pay on their mortgage or pay on their property taxes and whatnot, than actually selling their home because they can't sell it.
Home sitting longer in some areas doesn't automatically mean it's a bad time to buy. It means that sellers are still pricing like it's 2021 and buyers aren't entertaining unrealistic numbers. Renting can definitely make sense for some people, but calling it the only smart option, I think, is an oversimplification. The real issue is affordability, not ownership itself. A lot of homes aren't selling because the monthly costs have exploded: insurance, taxes, HOA fees, not because buying suddenly became dumb. And many sellers are renting out their homes as a fallback strategy, not because renting suddenly became better, but because they listed it too high in some cases and the market pushed back. So the takeaway isn't don't buy, it's don't buy a home that's overpriced for today's market and your actual budget. You need to know the numbers before you jump in. And to make that easier, I created a free home affordability calculator that'll give you an estimate of a price range that could potentially work for you. If you're interested, the link to that is in the pinned comment. So do you think now is a bad time to buy a home? Let me know what you think. And speaking of overpriced homes, let's look at a seller who's convinced that the price isn't the problem.
This is day 107 of us trying to sell our home here in Florida, and it is not selling. I know everyone keeps telling me in the comments that it is our price, and I'm telling you guys it is not our price. We've dropped our price 3 times now. We are lower than everything else on the market. If you guys have any suggestions what else to try, I mean, it's a bigger house, so maybe there's just not families our size that have this. So we're a family of 6, so it's a big house. Yeah, I don't know, maybe there's not people our size, maybe there's people sort of in our price bracket who are trying to move to our area. We're gonna try to get like a professional photographer to come in and kind of stage the house, get the drone, get the 3D imaging, all that stuff, to see if presentation will just get more eyeballs, and then more eyeballs will be more showings will hopefully eventually equal a sale. But man, if you guys have any recommendations, put them down in the comments, man. I'm all ears.
So when a home sits for over 100 days, the buyers have already voted, and they're saying the price doesn't match the value, even if it's lower than the neighbors. Lower than everything else in this current market doesn't necessarily mean it's correctly priced. It might just mean that the other sellers have overpriced their homes too. And a big family home, in a lot of cases, equals a big monthly cost. Insurance in Florida, taxes, maintenance, etc. Buyers have to factor all of that in. It's not just the list price. And it's also possible that there simply aren't enough people in this area who need or want a home that large. Photos and staging help, but they don't overcome affordability issues. And marketing is probably not going to fix a price that doesn't match the market. And what this seller is feeling, confusion, frustration, it's happening nationwide. But the root issue is always the same. Sellers determine the list price, but ultimately buyers determine what an actual offer will be, which in some cases is less than the seller is asking for. So are there too many delusional sellers out there? I want to know what you think. Let me know. The next clip drives it home from a realtor's perspective.
If the price is too high, they don't even try. And that's what's happening in the market right now. If your house is too high, the buyers don't even make you an offer because home buyers are not negotiators and they don't feel like they can bring something to the table to you without hurting your feelings. And let's be real, if they brought you something you didn't like, it probably would hurt your feelings. But let's remember, you are in control here, sellers. My name is Liz. I sell real estate in Charlottesville and Richmond, Virginia. And the house is priced too high, it ain't selling. So you have to be in control of it because the buyers won't even make an offer. If you want your house to sell right now, do something about the price. Sell your house or you want to sit in your house. The market is what the market is. You don't get to decide. And if you don't want to sell it what the market wants you to sell it at, take your house off the market already. I know none of that feels good. Wouldn't you rather me tell you the truth of how your house is going to be sold instead of sugarcoating it for you? What say you? And did you need a price reduction in order to get your house sold? Let us know all about it.
So I like how she made that rhyme, but on a serious note, she's absolutely right. Buyers today are not playing around. They simply move on to the next house. If you overpriced up front, you never even get a chance to hear their feedback because they just swipe left like it's Tinder, or they won't even see your home when they filter for a certain price range. And this is one of the core reasons that homes may have a tough time selling in some cases in 2026. A lot of these sellers out here, I'm going to keep saying it, are pricing like it's 2021 and not pricing based on what buyers can afford and what the market will accept. So if you refuse to adjust to the current market, your options are reduce the price, stay put, or take the home off the market altogether. Am I missing something here? Is there another reason some folks are having a hard time selling their homes? Let me know what you think. This next clip provides a perspective that might make you laugh, and I think we need that right now.
Unpopular opinion, if your home's been on the market for 30 plus days, it's not waiting for the right buyer, it's overpriced. It doesn't need more time on the market. It needs to be priced correctly. Homes that sit on the market for more than 30 days is not aging like fine wine. It's sitting like stale bread. Buyers are looking at your house like a bad Tinder profile. You're simply just not going to be interested. It's giving nobody wants you, so why would I? Price it like you want to sell it, not like you're emotionally attached to it. When you put your house on the market, your first week is always your best week. So don't waste time on trying to get a deal by overpricing your home. After the 2 weeks, you're pretty much just hoping for the best. That's all. Good luck.
So this is the brutal truth. Time works against you in a slowing real estate market. The longer you sit, the worse buyers assume the house is. When you're looking to buy or sell a home, you want to pay attention to how long the types of homes you're looking for are typically taking to sell. Buyers today in some cities have endless options online when they're searching, and they don't wait around for the home price to get better. They look for the home that fits what they're looking for price-wise. They move on immediately if it's too expensive. And the first week is your strongest week. If you waste it by overpricing, you may never get that momentum back. And a home sitting on the market doesn't age and suddenly get a tremendous amount of demand. In many cases, it's a signal to buyers that something is wrong. Pricing your home emotionally based on your pride, memories, or what you need is the fastest way to guarantee that you will not sell in a timely manner. And I highly recommend working with a realtor who can help you price it based on data and not feelings. If you're looking to buy or sell a home in 2026, I'm a licensed realtor and can connect you to a realtor in your area. If you're interested in that, check the pinned comment for more information. Now, if you thought 30 days on the market was aggressive, wait until you hear from this next realtor. But first, I need you to hit that like and subscribe button. If you want to get better at real estate investing, you got to follow this channel.
I'll say this once and I'll say it again. If your house has been on the market for more than 2 weekends, it is overpriced. Now, I know some realtors might say that is not a long enough time to determine if it's overpriced. In my market in Baltimore, Maryland, it is. If you get no showings or you get 15 showings after 2 weekends and no one submits an offer, it's overpriced. All those people have made a decision not to submit an offer on your house for whatever reasons. But at the end of the day, it is the price. The price dictates to the location and condition of the property. If it is priced accordingly and people see the value of that price to that house, then they will submit an offer because they have a feeling that they don't want to miss out. I know sellers might say, we just need that one buyer. And you do. Unless you are the best house in the neighborhood and price it accordingly, buyers in today's market have plenty of options to choose from. You cannot get the first 2 weeks back on a new listing. That is the most critical period of any new listing. You are the new kid on the block. Everyone has seen all the other listings, and here you are, want to sell top dollar, and there's nothing wrong with that. You price it just that much higher, and you sit for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, or in some cases, 170 something days.
He really said, after 2 weekends and no offers, you are done. You're cooked. I know this is a serious matter, but his delivery, to me at least, was hilarious. So showings with no offers equals buyers like the house, but not at that asking price. That's the clearest pricing feedback you will get. And those first 2 weeks are when serious buyers see your listing. If you miss that window, after that point, you're playing catch up. Some sellers focus on needing one buyer, but buyers today have many options and really zero urgency in some cities because there are more homes available than buyers, which means it's a buyer's market. So the price has to match the condition and the location, not your mortgage balance, not your plans, not your next home's price. All of that is irrelevant. Sitting 30, 60, and 170 plus days does not create leverage. It creates questions and concerns from buyers. So how long is too long for a home to sit on the market in your opinion? I've seen homes in my area on and off the market for over a year, and I think it's because the seller is hoping that someone will overpay even though they aren't truly motivated to sell. So let me know what you think. So if you think people overpaying ruined the housing market, pay very close attention to this next clip.
We actually did get a house. Yes, we did last month. We haven't closed yet, so fingers crossed that actually happens. But so many people in my comments are arguing, especially on the videos of me talking about the frustrations of house hunting. And let me just sit here and tell you, just because someone is willing to overpay for a home does not equate to the value of the home. The banks will literally tell you, no, this is what we think the house is worth and this is what we will lend you. Anything over, out your damn pocket. That's how you're gonna pay for it, out of your pocket, out of your bank account. And so yes, there are people who are listing homes very low to cause bidding wars. That is fair. So eventually the final offer might be closer to what the home is worth. But I'm telling you, we have seen people put in offers on homes that we've put in offers on $136,000 over asking. That home is not worth that. It's not going to be worth that for 30, 40 years probably. Unfortunately, we are in a very weird housing market. So inventory is low, it's driving up demand, and people are overpaying. They're taking out their 401ks, they're selling their house, or they're taking out a home equity line. You need cash really for the majority of these over asking offers. My husband and I were on the same page from day one. We did not want to overpay for a house. Unfortunately, a lot of offers are requiring appraisal gaps because banks will only loan you what the value of the house is. And we just kept at it. Finally, we had something work out, and we're still in the process of obviously getting to a closing date. But the people that are out there overpaying for houses, y'all are out your damn mind.
Many buyers aren't necessarily priced out. They're refusing to participate in emotional bidding wars that make no financial sense. Part of the reason we're in this mess we're in now is that people were paying more for homes than they were worth because of FOMO, fear of missing out. Sellers think low inventory guarantees high offers, but buyers today are simply tapped out. The income hasn't kept up with prices in many cases. And in my opinion, the people dropping $136,000 over asking are not winning. They're potentially locking themselves into decades of negative equity risk. If nobody will tell you, then I will. I don't care how much you love the house. Never get into a bidding war. You will almost always regret it. Don't ever pay more for a home than it's worth. The last clip drives home the nightmare unrealistic sellers could potentially get themselves into.
Day 365 of trying to sell my house, and it's definitely not overpriced, right? Have you seen those videos before? I'm not trying to mock any one person in particular because honestly, it's the mindset of a lot of sellers, especially sellers who decide to try to sell their property by themselves. But there is a key phrase that I learned many years ago in the beginning of my career, and it stuck with me because it's so relevant, and that is, no amount of marketing will overcome an incorrect price. Marketing is for sure important, but unless you have the property not anywhere on the internet, like unless you're just doing word of mouth marketing, if your home has truly been on the market for, let's say, over 100 days, then it is the price. And that doesn't mean it's a bad property or it's a bad product, but you then have options. You can lower the price and get it sold. You can stay in the home and wait and sell it in a different market. You can rent the property out if you're aware of those risks as well, and you get to choose. But do you know that thing that's like, show me two clips that give off the same energy? Well, years ago when I worked in the hospital, I had a diabetic patient that had just had her leg amputated, and she kept begging for syrup packets to drink, which is genuinely sad. And it sounds terrible, but to me, it is a really similar energy if somebody has their house on the market for, let's say, 200 days, and they're like, it is not the price, I'm not lowering the price at all. We need more flyers. We need more ads. I don't know. Do you agree?
She's absolutely right. Marketing boosts visibility, not value. You can't advertise your way out of a price problem. If you've been listed for 100+ days, the market has already made their decision, like we said before, and the market was not confused. Sellers and sometimes realtors often make excuses instead of facing the simple truth. The price is wrong. And once again, the options are clear. Drop the price, stay put, or rent the home out, or take it off the market. But pretending the market will magically adjust to you is just being in denial. It's not 2021 or 2022. I'm sorry, but you missed that boat. And the analogy she gave is kind of harsh, but I get it. Refusing treatment doesn't fix the problem. Refusing to deal with the reality of the market doesn't help anybody. At the end of the day, the biggest reason homes aren't selling right now isn't buyers or the market being slow or bad luck. It's unrealistic pricing colliding with a level of unaffordability we haven't seen in decades. Insurance is up, taxes are up, interest rates are up, and buyers today are looking at the full monthly cost and then some, as they should, not just the list price. At least I hope so. And homeowners who refuse to adjust, they're getting stuck. Some for 30 days, some for 300 days. So if you're planning to sell in 2026, price your home based on today's reality, not yesterday's market. Look at the comps, look at the condition of other homes, look at what buyers are actually paying, not what you wish they would pay. The market doesn't care what you need or what you want. It responds to value and correct pricing. And if you're planning to buy, make sure you're buying a home that's actually worth the monthly payment and all the other associated costs. Don't get caught in a bidding war. Don't stretch yourself too thin. And please don't overpay for something just because someone else is willing to. A home should bring you stability and not stress. And if you need help figuring out what you could potentially afford, you can use my free home affordability calculator. It walks you through potential numbers so you don't end up in a mortgage that feels like a trap. The link to that is in the pinned comment. And if you're buying or selling in 2026 and you want a realtor who actually listens, communicates, and understands this market, I can connect you to someone in your area. Check the pinned comment for more information on that. The housing market is changing fast, but if you stay informed, you stay disciplined, and you make decisions based on data instead of emotion, you'll be in a stronger position than most people out there. Now that you know about why homes won't sell, I want you to learn about why people regret buying solar panels. Check out this video right here.